that meme so many times. So that would be our goal, is youth empowerment and community engagement.
We see it a lot more outside time with them. And it's not just the kids.
Okay, so at that point, everything becomes a tax write-off regardless of who you are. So, do we run a club underneath it that collects club dues, or do we just leave it as donation-based? I feel like the club dues, because there are going to be, I want to keep it open so like not everything has to be financial. Like there are some people that aren't as well off as others.
No, I agree.
And those dues can be paid via maintenance on the track, like that kind of stuff as well.
Then you have downtime.
Yep.
That's going to be a big part right there. So, get whatever you grab.
I didn't even know that.
We have a funding page.
Okay. Board members. We need 5. We need a president.
Yeah, it's literally like
We need a vice president.
Secretary, treasurer.
And then I'm trying to do the last
I've got it.
one. It was like
Security.
security.
Get them
If
right.
it ever gets to the point where we need security, we're doing security. So they have different things. They have a communications / programming / membership chair. So
You'd be a great president.
so we have a list. Well, first of all, who would like to be considered being on the board?
Depends on what it is.
I mean, running it as a nonprofit also, your board members and any nonprofit, this is going to be run like a business. It's no different than running businesses. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of effort that's going to go into this. It's not going to be like great thing for those that are, they're going to get paid for their time, you know what I mean? I already have a full-time job where I'm working 60, 70 hours. You tack something else on there that's another 20 hours of organizing, directing, that kind of stuff. I mean, that's something that, once again, that I think the entire club needs to talk about, but allocated funds to me needs to all go just towards development. I would imagine as a club, we would probably want to have entire club meetings probably once a month. And I would imagine the board members would want to meet once a week. Or twice a month at
It's
least.
usually twice a month, because once a month, that's very, very hard to negotiate.
So, what's it going to entail? It's going to entail a lot of the major decisions. Everything's going to be put to group votes as a group, collectively do and go through and talk about, communicate, plan, and develop. That's how everything's going to be routed. But at the end of the day, the major final decisions of allocating money and allocating when events are and coordinating on that is going to be on the board. It's going to be on the board members. I mean, I'm not imagining it's going to be more than an hour-long meeting, but I look at it like this. Good portion of you are at my house every Monday night for Micro Monday. There ain't no reason we can't do it at the same time. Type shit. So, with that being said, don't everybody jump at once. Anybody who would like to sit on the board?
Freer than probably one.
So Brandon, T, Ryder, I'll throw my name in the hat. That's 4.
We're all looking at
Maybe it's a reason to bring it into the 21st century.
You know, I'm going to figure it out. I don't know about time-wise.
And this is something like, this is what we can start off with as a base. And obviously, like, I want everybody's lives to be number one. Like, this is second. This is to improve all of our hobbies. Like, if it gets to the point where it's too much for somebody or it's too much for the group, that's where collectively we have so many people involved. Because what we can do as a group is way better than what any individual can do.
Yeah, if anybody's having an issue, we can talk about it and work things out.
So, Brandon, of the 5 positions, where do you see yourself best fit, in your opinion, as you're writing stuff down, Secretary? I mean,
Yeah.
T, where do you see yourself fitting in?
Well, where we're at with Dan, kind of like, we could be a treasurer.
Treasure, I would
Me and
actually,
Chad can team up.
I actually really like that idea.
Because we can also collect the dues at the
I
store,
really,
all that, and all
really,
those
really
with the
like that
cameras, the
idea.
whole 9 yards.
No, I love that.
That, I think that would also give a level of comfort to those that don't know this group. Because I mean, everybody in here, there's only a couple faces. I think only one face that I haven't seen before. I think all of us are 2. Sorry, 2 now. Those that don't know us, everything goes to the shack. RC begins and ends at the shack. And I think that would give them the most level of comfort if it's going through there. I think it's the most accounted for. And I just think it would really give everybody a peace of mind.
I trust you immediately.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
At the toy shop,
Yeah.
back in the day,
Yep.
their hobby manager.
I can't stop modeling my
The
head.
club president.
It all sounds good. Go this, yeah.
My thought process with you being a young guy and probably way more social media available, active, that kind of stuff, I think you should be in the communications and membership. And that would be my opinion.
Also, the time issue, you said you had more of it easily available, and that just makes the most sense, because that is going to be more consuming time.
It's unreal.
Honestly, it's a matter
Those 2 things.
Right, and this one.
Oh, absolutely.
I got a little
And
bit.
I got an Instagram of my business, it's just like,
Same
Kinda
conversation
set
we had
that up,
last
too.
night. Yeah, conversation we had last night. 2 nights ago, I was watching some cooking show with my wife. One of the chefs on there, it said social media chef. And I looked at my wife, I'm like, you mean to tell me this motherfucker literally cooks food, posts pictures, and gets paid for it?
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's just the way of the world. And I started, in my mind, I was like, hey, you want to start taking pictures of all my shit? But I think it's just one of those, yeah, it is the way of the world. It's not going anywhere. I mean, look at Manly. I mean, I wish Manly, he had a snow run he was doing today. But Manly has his Facebook page and YouTube channel. All he does is go out, filming himself going wheeling. He's monetized. He's monetized by going out, taking videos of something he loves doing, and gets monetized for such. So I think something like this, once we have this part, we start doing cool videos and that kind of stuff, it will absolutely catch fire. And then we're down to president and vice president.
Yeah, so let's get your chair. Pretty clear.
Trying to think of anything else. Thoughts on, so those of you that weren't here when we initially started, thought process on the track, I don't know if everybody heard. The area of land we have, I think at this point, if I'm not mistaken, kind of collectively as a group, we could decide not to have a racetrack. Is that what I'm guessing? Is that
what you mean specifically by
not a full-scale racetrack for now, because
It's a lot of maintenance.
it's so much maintenance, and we don't have access to water. We don't have access, and it's once again, it being on public property. There's nothing to say that little Johnny and his buddies can't go out there with their bikes and go out there riding it anytime they want to when it's muddy, or dip shipment just moves to the valley.
Out there that's got electric motors on it.
Yeah, we're out there.
Cookies in the middle of it.
I like to full send my RCs too. So I would be just as guilty as if we have a racetrack. I can see myself wanting to send an X-Max. I can see myself wanting to do all of this. So I think, once again, if we do The drag strip, concrete pad, so we can drag, we can drift, we can road race. The crawler course to
Put 2 strips in, put a dirt strip next to them. Yeah, I was just thinking
Like
like
a-
you can do sand drag, mud
Well, and I
drag.
think it's one of those, like, if we are enclosing 90% of this to create that barrier that is our rock crawling course, you have those exterior sides, so I mean, there's stuff you can do on each side. You can do a sand one, you can do a mud one.
Two strips, one dirt, one shot, he has water trucks for a weekend or something.
Is it like a half acre, an acre? What is it?
It's close to 2.
Is it?
Very close to 2.
That's a long time ago.
And so, with that being said, I think,
That was a long time ago.
would we all like a racetrack? Absolutely. But I think if we go the route of having it right now on public land, the only thing that we're going to do is shoot ourselves in the foot because we can't control the traffic that's on there.
I think it's more into it, but then.
Yes,
You have a racetrack, you need a driver's.
Once the model is laid out and we have progress and this is steamrolling, it's going to be inevitable before there's somebody that's either within what we're doing already or somebody that comes into what we're doing that's going to have some land that's going to be like, you know what, the next step is going to go into this. Or if this really takes off, we get a large donor and that large donor gives us a chunk of change where we can go out and either A, afford to lease some land, lease some property, C, purchase some property. But I think right now, I think we would be literally shooting ourselves in the foot.
What about just getting out of mobile track just for fun?
That's what I'm saying.
Not
It's
worried
like,
about
if it's inside there, I think we do a basher park and we just do a dirt oval.
Yeah.
A dirt oval with some banked walls.
Be so much fun.
We can still race.
Play around while and have some fun.
Yeah, you literally set up as an oval, but across the you put it across the middle, so it's a figure 8 also, so you can use the outside, but then you can also use the inside as well.
Yeah.
So I think with that we can still accomplish a style of racing. We still can accomplish that competitive side of it.
You know, like Thursday, his
Yep.
track. Every Thursday, or every Monday or whatever, just make a set.
Yep.
And then, okay, we'll take some cones out. We're just gonna set up a little whatever, and play and those that wanna.
I mean, it's crazy in the South. Dirt oval racing in the South is wild. Like they have tracks, they have concessions, they have announcers and sponsors. Like you were thinking you were going out in Belgrade, going to the like regular racing, but like so. I mean, it's one of those like if we're all racing like. Me personally, I don't really give a shit what we're driving. It's still fun. But at the end of the day, if it's something that's going to not make it so unbelievably tedious for members to maintain all the time, because that's going to be the hardest part.
That's gonna be hella easier than a big track. Right now, I think we should not bite off more than we can chew. We don't know what we're getting into yet.
Yep.
I think it's best to go slow
That
like
track,
that.
we get some like 3 or 4 inch drainage pipe, that's the ball, we just set that up.
Chuck has a bunch of drainage plans. Yeah.
Nick's got a big yard out there full of.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of that stuff we have access to. So like financially, what we're going to need money for: 1, filing for everything; 2, fuel for equipment; 3, asphalt if we're going to be laying down the drag strip and whatnot. But other than that, raw materials for a crawler course is next to nothing. The dirt mounds we have access to. I think for the dirt track, we might have to switch up the navy material a little bit. I mean, I think initially we just still do it as dirt, and if it gets to the point where it's taking off, and we're like, holy shit, we're actually really eating up this track, and we have the funds to do such because membership is growing and whatnot, then we make those adjustments. But I think right now, initially, if we keep it simple to these items that are easily buildable, all the where are we going crawling, where are we going bashing, where can I run my RC, where do you guys go, completely goes out the window. Because it's an RC park, and the name itself speaks for it. I think it's a great location. I mean, half of us go out there and rip anyway.
What about, so is it going to stick to the same the year, the course, or is it gonna change?
Well, I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, it's one of those like, so when we're getting this lease from the county, we can do a 1-year lease, a 3-year lease, and a 5-year lease. I personally want to start with a 1-year lease because they've already said that once we've shown that we're going to use the land, develop the land, maintain the land, they have no problem giving us more space. They have no problem giving us more space. So I think if it's one of those, if we can go out, start a little bit smaller, and do it really well, just go out there and have a killer park that everybody can go out and enjoy, that there's a lot of activity that people are coming to Bozeman specifically for. I mean, the county's gonna have no problem, be like, hey, well, how much more space do you guys want?
Is there a cost on the lease, or it's just?
No, that lease is free. That lease is free. The things we have to do is insurance. Insurance is like $800 for the year, so that's not too bad. So like hard costs initially, we're looking right around $2,000, and that's going to be insurance and get everything filed for the nonprofit. No, it's really not. It's really not. And it's the same thing. I mean, what do we have? 20 people here today? 20 people throw in, what is that? $5?
Well, and I don't know, I mean, as my company, I'll get you in a grand, right?
Same, right there. I mean, it's little stuff.
Throw a banner up there.
Yep. And that's exactly it. Is we want this. That's exactly it. And that's what we wanted to do. Is not. This isn't for me. This isn't for Brandon. This is for the community. And at the end of the day, if local businesses are supporting us, why wouldn't we want to scratch their back as well? We want, like when we get to the point of like having event days, we're gonna want t-shirts. What are we gonna want? I'm gonna want your business on there. I'm gonna want the Radio Shack on there. I'm gonna want the Blue Collar Restaurant Group who's gonna help us throughout this. I'm gonna want those people to reap the rewards of the effort they've given towards us type stuff. You know what I mean? Anybody else got any thoughts? What's that?
You make a meeting in front with lawyer and LegalZoom, or that's
Yeah, LegalZoom. That is the cheapest route that I've found. My ownership's going to work with me every step of the way on that. That is something that I can possibly. I got some stuff going on this week to make some extra cash with Gators. So that is something that I can possibly say a thing that I can probably front or we can make.
Do you want a website or do you want to run everything through a
Talk to T, and I think I know Tracy would probably be.
I really think we should have both, honestly. The Facebook page and all that kind of stuff, that is what people fucking do. They just do. So I think that's a necessity. The website, I think we really need to do.
Bold with both RC and Gallup.
There already is a Gallatin Valley. And in some ways, I almost want to leave them separate. Because the Bozeman RC anything is more about anything and everything RC.
Yeah.
As where this.
Make it simple.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with this would be something that's more about the club and about what we're doing and our goals and that kind of stuff. So I think they should be separate in some ways.
I agree.
The website I think is a great idea, just in regard it gives more validity to it. So then we can put tax numbers, all that kind of stuff on there. I think that would just be a good thing to have.
More like an organization.
Yep.
Once they get funding, we have one locally that does, but I can do that as registering and all that.
Can we just call it the dog park?
They know
What's
it's.
that?
The dog park?
Yeah, you know, they'll pay for whatever to call it the dog park. They'll put a fence around it.
On the near forward.
Build a couple of hills for the dogs to play on.
Skip our X-Max and race our boats.
That is true. That is true.
Build
And then they'll expense it for us. Keep the bikers out of there.
Anybody else got anything? Anybody else got any questions, any thoughts, any ideas?
Are we gonna have like a YouTube channel?
I mean, I think eventually we could.
I think a good idea is for someone to get a hold of SCS. They do signs.
SCS wraps?
Yeah, stuff
Or
like that.
Beartooth, the guy at Beartooth sounds really good too.
or Beartooth or someone,
He's a really-
a
there's a
local
good-
sign company.
there was a
and see if
guy-
we can get them on board that we can point people like,
And we just get
you know, when I want to, you know, donate and I want an SL3D banner and T wants a Radio Shack banner, someone that, you know, we could just go to and work with and just say, yep, here's whatever, you can go to your sign guy. And of course, the sign guy will have his sign, they're probably bigger than the rest of ours, but
Are you talking like, see if they'll cut down rates just because we're sending all of the business that way?
well, just advertisement. So, you know, in the park have banners, and that way, like anyone that wants to donate cash for fuel for expenses, and then for $1,000 donation, you get a banner this size located right there, and you just go to the, you know, SES or Bridger, you know, sign whatever, and have a deal with them that they make those signs for you at a reduced cost, but then they have a sign there as well. That's what they do, like
Great
in
idea.
baseball parks and stuff like that. So, you know, someone making that contact,
So.
then you've got something to offer a business
Yep.
right up front for when you're looking for sponsors.
Well, do they let you put a sign up to where you can put everybody who donated to the?
Oh yeah,
cause and
they'll
stuff?
absolutely let us.
Because
do
that'd be
that.
good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously it's on us to build all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, but
Like the plaques they have at BMX track, right, the wood, big wood ones,
Yeah.
got all the donations and stuff there.
so as far as membership goes, what do you guys think?
I think an annual.
An annual, a monthly, and what do you think the amount should be? I was thinking like $10 a month, maybe $20 a month, or you can do like it's 1 year.
Collect monthlies from this many
You
people.
could do it like two ways. You could do it one where if you want to pay monthly, it's a little bit more to do it that way. If you want to do a half or a full, you can do a little breakdown. Give them three options.
And
$10
what-
a month or a year for $100.
I mean, you know how the internet works.
Yep.
A lot of the-
But then what do you
the
get for
fee
that
in there,
membership?
a lot of
Because
Exactly.
so many people are like, hey, it's public land, I'll just go there anyway.
And then that's
Exactly,
the
that's
price.
So we got
That's
to
the
figure out
exact same thing.
what is the benefit.
So I think at some point in time, I mean, I know we're gonna want to do like probably like stickers, hats, T-shirts, shit like that. That I feel like membership you should get something for. I think you should also on event days give you a discounted for your racing. You know, like a lot of these guys charge like $10 a race or whatever it is, make it so it's like $5, so it's discounted. So there has to be some reason, some sort of incentivized reason why I'm going to give you my money every
There
single
could be too, and I don't know how often you want to do it, but like a members race only, like certain days where they're in a pot or something and they get a percentage of something, or like that could be a cool
I mean, there's
incentive.
so I mean maybe that's something we look forward to maybe on the next meeting is trying to line out like how exactly we would want to lay out that format. I feel like today having the name, agreeing on what we want for an RC park, dividing up board seats is a lot of progress.
Yeah.
I think next week we should vote on board seats. Just in case anyone else is for it, we can make it today.
Or another thing we can do also is we can also put it to a vote on social media. I mean, 'cause social media is the reason why 90% of you are here today.
Yeah, but so you're president, right? So you're gonna start a whole new social media thing just for this, right? Or?
I'm gonna reach out to the guy who started the Gallatin Valley RC page, that GVRC. He doesn't live here anymore, he lives in Iowa or some shit, and I'm gonna see if I can get access to that page. If I can get access to that page, I say we take that and we run it.
Yeah.
Because if not, we'll have to change it to something like the real GVRC or yeah, we would have to do something. But I think the best bet is if we can run with what's already established. I mean, there's
Is that
already
ball guy?
yeah. I totally think he would too.
I mean, he was the one that
Originally, was wanting to try and do all this.
So you
Yep.
tell him, hey, we're taking a run with it. It would be
Yeah.
like,
And make sure that you have control of if there's a YouTube channel for it and everything, you should be in control of it.
Well,
so
that's-
everything goes filtered.
that's a separate.
No, that's going to be
Well, I know, but I mean through the club.
yeah, absolutely. That
Because,
we
you know, it
have.
needs to be filtered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a certain
Register the
point.
Gmail
Yep.
address because that'll
That's the easiest way to do it, so just have an overall Gmail.
And having,
for
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So from here, I will go, I'll make a post on the Bozeman Local Anything. We'll go over what we discussed as far as track layout. We'll propose the names of board members. We will give the opportunity in doing the names of board members. We'll give people an opportunity for a yay or nay, and an opportunity to throw their name in the hat. I'm sorry, but I look at it like this. You weren't at the first meeting. We've been talking about this for weeks. I really feel like those that are here right now
Yeah.
are the ones that give a fuck the most.
Rick gives a fuck, he's just hungover. and
Yeah.
dead.
But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to say that those decisions should get made by those that are in this building, but I really feel like those decisions should get made by those that are in this building.
Absolutely.
Well,
And it's not permanent. It's not like I'm the president forever. Like there might be something comes up, I move away, I don't want to do anything. There's all sorts of variables that we just cross that bridge when we come to it. But this still, I feel like by doing such, gives everybody an opportunity to throw their name out there, throw
So they
any.
still included.
Yeah. We need to set the next date for the next meeting.
Can't be next Saturday.
On that.
I say we give it a month.
Yeah.
Would it be better, I was thinking this morning, do it on an evening during the week so that no one's skiing, no one's
So-
doing a weekend out of town?
Only reason why I did this is I have access to this until 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, Hachi opens. That's not to be said, out there we have that whole foyer area that we own too, so we can use that foyer area out there as well. I was just planning on a day, kind of selfishly, I know.
We could even meet at a
So I knew it had to be a little bit earlier in the day.
Yeah, when it gets nice, we can do it outside.
Yeah, the same thing. So I mean, we have access to
But I was
places.
thinking wood, an evening,
I think so.
you know, where someone that works weekends or is out of town on weekends where they, you know.
But I think a lot of it though too,
Easter weekend.
we will never get to the point of being able to do what's best for everyone.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're never.
Like me, I'm currently working right now. You know what I mean? Like, is this best for me? No. Yeah.
Oh, skiing. Oh, it's a nice weekend.
But it's,
I would love to be a chair, but I work in the afternoon.
Yep.
While everybody's at work, I'm at work. I start working at 4.
yeah, and it's the same thing. Like, you know, Brandon and I are kitchen guys, so our days off are normally during the week. So that's why I was thinking on the weekends, because I would figure 80% of people have weekends off for the most part.
Summertime, I'm gonna.
And then,
When we get that Gardner property, my weekends.
I work retail.
right? So,
Dude,
all in favor of our
Sometimes
next
weekends,
meeting being during the week, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He's gonna have.
All in favor of meetings on the weekends, raise your hand.
In summertime, no.
3. Okay. So we're thinking during the week, in the evenings, any day of the week work best. Not Micro Monday, goddammit. I'm just kidding.
Why not? Everyone's already there.
They're already hanging out, isn't
I mean, that's actually not half bad. I can't do Thursdays.
What time are you thinking,
it?
though?
Mondays,
I mean, I think like 6 in the evening. I think that would kind of 6 or 7.
Maybe we go
Probably
early.
7. Get people enough.
Say it again?
Can we maybe do the board stuff early, like an hour early?
Oh, I think the board stuff, yeah, that would make the most sense is like on the days that we're having group meetings, the board would get together too.
Yeah,
I think that would make the most sense. So we think like 7 in the evening on a
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Wednesday?
Because Monday night we're racing at my house, Thursday we're racing is. So Wednesday? So we'll say Wednesday, 7 p.m. Next one will go for the foyer out there.
Yeah.
That work for everybody?
Yeah.
So, do we want to do that within this month, or we want to do that starting in May?
We should probably have one soon.
2 weeks? 3 weeks? Right, today's the 8th. 3 weeks, Wednesday the 26th. 50% of the way through, because I put it, yeah, the very first thing they asked me was, what's the name? Oh, that's the other thing. I do not believe Gallatin Valley RC is already taken. We have to have a secondary name.
Or GVRC, Gallatin Valley, Montana RC, for a backup.
What do you guys think of the GVMTRC? I think the Southwest Montana RC, kind of the same thing, kind of along those same lines.
You have them in your mix in Gallatin Valley, Southwest, Gallatin Valley, Montana,
Or Rocky Mountain, I think Bridge or like the Bridge or
There is already Rocky Mountain
Bridge
RC.
or there. I figured, I mean, the Rockies,
Yeah, no, there
that
already
cover
is.
all the way from Alaska down to.
I believe that's the Great Falls one.
Rocky Mountain.
There's this big Sky RC Broadway.
I
There's
do.
the Gallatin Valley, or Rocky Mountain.
RC, that'll piss everybody off who doesn't live here. When they Google it. Like, this is where I live.
So I'll do it two different ways. I'll write it out as Gallatin Valley RC, then I'll also do an abbreviation and see if I can get either one of those to stick. And then I'll take it further all the way through to see what the final expense is going to
And make sure the domain is somewhat around that same
be.
name.
If you want to work on that before the next meeting.
See what.
And then we'll get together about, I mean, somebody's going to have to, I don't know if anybody, I don't know if it's really an architect, but somebody have the skill set to put on paper more than just a drawing of what the track would look like. So we would need, you can do that too. So I think, because that's something the county's going to want to see.
I think next meeting I would be kind of go and sketch it out. Yeah.
If we had have it sketched out,
Yeah,
we
like
have the
that.
paperwork running to the state and the government, and
And
then
have dimensions, maybe go down, measure it, and see what our width, that should be.
Do they have a mark though?
I'll reach out to the guy at the county again. I'll see if I can't get together with him. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I know no one knows me. My name is Amanda. I actually work for the county, the Gallatin County Public Health Department.
Well, thank you.
So I can't be hands-on because it's a conflict of interest, but I can definitely relay information and have a lot more contact in person
Sweet.
during the week.
Awesome.
Because I'm really excited about this and I would love to see it get bigger, especially having events at like the state parks and stuff like that. So
Does that
And
mean
I think in a lot of ways,
maybe
the
it's
county's
just
gonna,
Montana.
I think the county's really going to.
Because you were probably talking to Shane. It might be Shane Lewis, or I guess it depends on which part of it you're doing. But
It was
He's still there.
Nick.
oh, Nick Haskell.
Yep.
Yeah, we're on the same team. We're on the
Okay.
team.
So I'm gonna reach out to him again.
Okay.
I'll see if I can't meet with him next week so we can go out there, get an official space that they're gonna give us. I'm gonna push as much as I can to give us a little bit more space.
Yeah.
Because I'd much rather have more space and not need it than need space and not have it. Yeah, so insurance actually was only $400 for a year.
What
Chuck
is the insurance for?
in case anybody gets hurt.
Liability.
So does the,
Liability.
but it's, yeah, I was gonna say, it's public.
You still have to
It's
have
like a
this.
bonding, it's a licensed
Because the
bond.
county owns it, they don't sue the county.
Yep. Little Johnny's out there playing, you flip him with the fucking X-Max, the county's gonna get sued and shit because it happened on their land.
Yep.
So this way that gets covered.
So the county is gonna lease the land to a group or a
Yep.
club that will maintain it. Whatever they decide to do, they need to be covered to do it.
Yep.
And it's like a mil to 2 mil.
That's their incentive on leasing the land. Right. Yep.
Because at the end of the day, it behooves the county because the county, if I'm not mistaken, their job is to develop that land that was given to them. So by them having somebody willing to come in that's not only going to develop it, they're going to maintain it, it behooves them to have something like this happen.
There
It just
are
does.
maintenances you can do to get a lot of the money off of those too, like weed control and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Right?
And I think the nice thing is the amount of people that we have and the feedback that I've gotten from a lot of people. I think this part right here is like the dirty work. I really feel like once we have the green light and we pick a date, we're gonna see a lot of mofos out there getting this done. I mean, the amount of people that have commented that have access to the heavy equipment that we need, have access to the dirt we need, the rocks we need, is, I don't want to say overwhelming, that's the wrong word, but there's a lot of people with access to what we need the most of. But the dirty part is going to be the paperwork and lining all this out. But I think we have, by having the board set up, by having the direction we want to go, I feel like we're finally not just talking about it, we're finally can start to make some headway.
Once we actually have a place to take people, a place to go, I think it will take off a lot more. You know?
Every week when we were out drag racing, the amount of people that would just stop in their cars, pull over on the side of the road and just watch us. And the amount of people that would just come to the fence and just watch us. Like, once you put a remote in somebody's hand, we've all experienced it. The first time you had that remote, you're just laughing, you're giggling, you're having a great time. That's the funnest part about this, is that it's no age, no gender, it's just clean fun. And I think us keeping it that way, of not being just so track oriented, is going to keep it a lot more towards that clean fun. Because that's the last thing I want. I mean, the last thing I want once it starts getting super competitive, and some of my closest friends I've made because of this hobby, we're getting pissing matches over the setup on cars, timing, and dumb shit. Like, we're supposed to have fun. This is all about having fun and growing the sport. And if anything's going to take away from that, that's not our goal. That's not our mission. Like, the mission is like having kiddos like that sitting there having a great time. Not what are we going to do next? Hey, let's go to the RC park. Let's go to the RC park.
We ought to talk to the city about putting in a different parking lot as well.
Yeah.
So we're not sharing a parking lot with the Bozeman Ponds, because that could go poorly too. People ripping around in the parking lot there. Or that. There's nowhere to really expand it towards this direction though, right? Because
there's no real way to expand it.
It's not like
it's
trail that goes around the BMX.
Exactly.
They put another parking lot right there.
And so right now, it is that far section that literally sits in that corner.
Parked out in the corner.
Yeah. So other side. So I guess that would be east. Yep. So east of the pump track or the bike track, and then it would be dinosaur park.
Oh, I thought you meant that BMX track.
No.
You said BMX track.
Oh, you know that? I'm sorry.
It's right next to the pump park.
You know where they have that?
Gets up at dinosaur park.
So you have your parking lot, and then
Dino Park.
Yes, it's in the Dino Park. Just
It's out towards the climbing rock.
So that empty area that sits out there on the
one that we've
corner.
been talking about forever.
Then exactly the one we've been talking
you said
about.
BMX track. I was just like,
I guess it's not really a track. That's more of a pump track. But there is a BMX club that I mean, they proved their concept. That's the reason why now that they're expanding on it, and the county's giving them more space to do such. So it'll be the exact same thing for us. Once the concept has been proven, more land is easy to access. But the concept's got to be proven.
get the measurements of where it is, length and width, and figure out, and then we can have numbers to how big do you make the traction, how wide, and then is there room enough to put a sand and mud drag in, perpendicular to it, or right side by side, or what's the size of the oval, and how many feet we got this way and that way, and it's too far to see.
So that's what I will work on is meeting with the county to get the exact size of the track, laying out the next event, getting that posted, chatting with the guy to see if I can take control, or we can take control of the Gallatin Valley RC page. Oh, I'm sure he will too. And there's something else.
We need to get started on the nonprofit. That took about 6 months for my development to get going.
Okay, so I will see. Yeah, and I will start, now that we have names, I'll work on that tomorrow, get the ball rolling there. Anything from anyone else?
Some of that, though, is just like, some of that can be pushed to your new communications officer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it's not official until you throw it on social media, but at the same time, you've taken on quite a bit, and I don't.
Share.
My opinion.
Yeah, because that's the one thing too that I definitely don't want is the majority of responsibilities and
No, that's
decision making
why I'm just calling
falling
you out
on.
right now.
Yeah, falling on.
It wasn't a huge thing that
Yeah.
you have help with.
Yeah, have
You
him,
now
your
have
social
people,
media guys
like,
in charge of posting and
you know,
whatever.
right away, you start taking that stuff.
You delegate it
A
out.
little bit, at least. Lighten the load. My opinion.
Chief Meow officer can
Right
be.
now,
Posting.
come on, Meow.
Yeah, come on, Meow. He could be in charge of posting cat meme, you know.
Lord knows he has them. I see at least 6 a day.
Why is that?
Some days more. Some days more.
If I see a cat meme, I don't even have to look and see who it's from.
Yeah, it's branded.
Immediately want to challenge them now.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really helpful for just like doing events. We did it, it was VP, like kind of managed event coordination, just more like the upper level, like getting the paperwork and just making the club run.
I mean, I think those are a lot of the fine details that we can move. There's certain stuff we need to take action on now that we can have the ball rolling for the next meeting, and then the next meeting we can figure out more actions that need to take place from there. What else we want to do? Anything else? Anyone?
No, we just want to say thank you. I mean, I'm going to speak for the class. We appreciate it a lot.
I think
you do step out and get the next ball rolling. So yeah, you got all of our support, and here we go.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you do. You're off, bro.
And I don't mind
we got
helping
you.
out.
Let me know if you need any help because I'm working.
There's gonna be so many people, I'm not kidding, that know how to move dirt, have vehicles.
Yep.
We'll get it all organized, it'll all be streamlined, and we can organize this and make it real.
Yep. I mean, but without doing stuff like this, we'll be continuing to talk for 2 more years.
Yeah, no, we're done.
So-
Let's move it.
That's why nobody's really pushing right now, because every time it seems like something's gonna happen, so let's make it
I
happen.
think this right here and everybody coming together today, throwing ideas out on the table.
Starts the magic.
Well, yeah, I mean, when first I was up here, I was looking at these guys and I'm like, oh shit, there's like 5 or 6 of us. So I'm like, if it's gonna be the same 5, 6 people that are meeting in my garage every week, this is all for naught. But the fact that we're getting more bodies, we're getting more interest, I think, especially honestly with the help of Radio Shack, we can really make some headway really, really fast.
Yeah, nice size, fit great.
Yeah. Because they're gonna have that hands-on talking to everybody every single day, is where the rest of us. Yeah, I mean it's on the rest of us to be welcoming, cordial, and everything like that to really continue to grow.
It'll be nice to know when you get to a certain point, because I talked to a lot of people that are willing to probably donate, something, where it's going.
Right.
They can definitely donate.
Yeah. And I think that is the best route to do it, because at the end of the day, as much as all of us love this hobby, if we can have sponsors that are going to reap that benefit of what we're doing, why not have them take the financial investment to do so?
Yeah, I mean,
I'd love to throw down some cash just so I can play more RC. At the end of the day, that's not really financially viable.
A lot of people I know would sponsor, they don't even want nothing from it. They don't want to know nothing up anywhere. You just want to help out.
And I think literally us doing stuff for the kids, anybody who is a parent in this valley knows the struggle of entertaining your children, because there is next to nothing in this valley for kids to do.
There never has been.
In this valley.
Everything that was good has been taken away. All the RC tracks, everything's been taken away.
Yeah, well, and all the RC tracks are historically been on.
Any sports thing in Fort Worth, they all disappeared.
Private property changes. Do you want everybody coming to your house 24/7 at any point in time? And you have to run it as a business.
The mall probably had the longest running track. And it was on upkeep. We were out there every week working on it before racing, because it just got trashed during the week.
And I think
And
us going this
it was
route,
like Tyrama coming in and bought that, and all was like, it was already tracked on.
I think this way gives us the opportunity to have that base of a place to go. And at the end of the day, it may not be one-stop shopping. It may not serve every facet of RC, but I think if we can cover 60 to 70 to 80% of the hobby in one place,
Yeah, just have a vending machine out there that sells wheel nuts and body clips. It'll pay for everything.
Radio Shack. We'll just have a map to Radio Shack that sits up there for all your parts needs.
They could bring a little trailer.
Well, hey, along with the memberships, you also get a instant, a certain amount. We got a discount that applies to your discount or to your membership. So if you do come to your parts, it's actually probably better than you get online.
Yeah,
just so that we can scratch each other's backs at the same time.
And that goes hand in hand with that membership thing right there. Is like if proving
What
the
comes with
value,
the membership?
proving the value of like what you're going to get out of by supporting all this.
That's one thing.
Right, that's what we were asking. What's the incentive for
What's-
the membership?
What are some of the things that you're going to get with it that comes with your little flyer that you're getting with your dues?
And I mean, these are all thoughts and stuff that we can all think of over the next few weeks before we meet. And the same thing. Hopefully, our next meeting we have double the amount of people. We'll get double the amount of ideas. So I mean, I think really none of this is set in stone, other than the name. Everything else is a tangible that, as a group, collectively figure out what's going to work best for everybody.
And then, right, just make sure over Secretary of State of Montana that it's not taken already somewhere.
Yep.
And if it ain't, register it.
Yep.
You're familiar with that, so
I swear Chuck already registered it.
Ooh.
I swear, which is fine. If Chuck already registered it, we just use that name because he was.
Well, it has to go on someone's social to get the ball rolling.
Right, and it has to be registered as a nonprofit
With someone's social tied to
under
the
that,
beginning.
right?
But
Like
you-
incorporated LLC.
Which is fine.
You can sell, I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure you can sell domain of nonprofit for like any fiscal amount, $1.
For $1, yes.
For
Over
$1, it could be
correct.
sold
That's true.
and then put into whoever the new. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it works that way.
That's true.
And see, this is the great part about us meeting is like, not all of us know how to do everything, but collectively between all of us, we all have our own skill sets, and we'll be able to get that information amongst all of us. You know what I mean?
Face to face
I
is
get-
faster than Facebook.
Yeah, agreed.
So, do we need to try and get some money together, trying to work on any of this to start? Like maybe not the full membership, since we don't have that figured out, but do we want to try and raise a little
If
bit of
we
money
are
to
doing it,
go towards licenses and
it's
things?
hard to figure out how we would do that.
So my thing would be that we would probably get together for our first meeting, figure out how we're going to set up our books, how we're going to set up the estates, how we're going to set up the whole property of dealing with the finance sheet on this part. And then once we have that, then we can go forward with the campaign.
Yeah.
I was thinking like if everyone donates $20
Any money coming
to get this rolling.
we need
So
to
there's several ways of where we're going to be able to branch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to be set up.
Yeah,
We're going to have that bank account.
Honest goodness, the upfront part's gonna be insurance.
all for good.
Yeah,
some money
register
for
a
business,
bank account
but
for
I
it.
need that
Yeah, the number-
nonprofit
yeah, the number-
that I can write
$30
off
to
taxes.
register with the state of Montana, so they prove to the bank that you are a business, so they can open up an account.
Which is no problem, we'll get that going, that's out of our pocket, no big deal. Moving forward, we'll have a place to put where the funds are going.
Right. So I'll get with you this week. I'll work on setting up the nonprofit tomorrow so that I can see exactly what the cost and expense is going to be.
Perfect.
Then we'll go over exactly how we want to do that.
I know a quiet place we can do it.
Okay. And I think because that's numero uno. Because until that's
Or
established,
not
we can't go-
tomorrow, let's do it Monday. There.
That's fine. It don't matter to me.
Take it tomorrow.
Because until we have something established, we can't go to the county for anything. But as soon as we have our paperwork that we are a nonprofit, we have XYZ amount of members, then we can go to the county, and the county is going to look at stuff like, okay, well, let's move forward with it. That's when we end up showing them that we reach out, we get the insurance and that kind of stuff. Because if we're getting insurance on the land before we have a lease, it's kind of just put the cart before the horse.
So to show the proof of the memberships, those have to actually have a receipt to each one of them?
I'm not exactly sure how that works. I can chat with the county more about it. But I know having the club established and having the club as a nonprofit or however we're calling it, That's number one.
Okay.
Because until that, we have that, this is us, this is our 501c3 information, this is our club.
Do you need a page full of everybody's signature that's here today, just in case? I don't know.
No, because I don't think we're going to be able to really approach the county for at least a month or two. I mean, until we officially have that registered and everything else, like as much as I want to say, hey, next month we're breaking ground, I mean, this might be next fall. Just to be brutally honest, it may be, who knows how long. Like Ryder said, when they set up their nonprofit through the university, it took them 6 months.
We weren't through we did it completely separate from the university.
Even more so, you know what I mean? So,
But it's still stepping in the
Yep,
right direction,
it is on.
getting the ball rolling.
Small
Yep.
club, it'll be a little
Yeah.
more forward. Those
Yeah,
last week,
I will
just-
tell you with the county, the best time to get stuff in to get it moving faster is the beginning of the year, so it's now. Once summer hits,
so behind.
it gets like, we get jam packed with like all kinds of permits.
So we will absolutely get the ball rolling on getting everything registered and the nonprofit rolling ASAP, so then we can get that over to the county as soon as we have it.
Are we gonna need permits from the county to build this, or is it kind of just whatever?
So if you're like doing stuff with the like for septic, like wastewater, anything like that, no? Are you just planning on doing like porta potties or?
Literally going to be moving dirt. It's going to be surface
There'd be
area.
no
Yeah.
structure.
It'll be-
That is a question though, because that could be, is it like, then we have to pay for like outhouse type? Because honestly, that could, depending on how big it gets, depending on what ends up happening, because that is going to become an issue. Or a thing.
They have those public restrooms that are already out there. So I mean that's something maybe to look at down the road.
Like, that's
Yeah,
a
the
good question.
county can possibly go to PLC and say, hey, we want to, like, porta potty that you've got.
I would think that would be more along the lines of event days.
We want one
I think
down there.
event days we might need stuff like that, but I don't think we would need something out there.
But they might be
just
able to.
Yeah, of course.
There's one.
We should get like.
Yeah,
Put
or
another
two
one
right up there by the
Right.
hill. Just put one down, they can flop traffic.
And if the expense isn't that much, it's something, if we have money in the accounts and everything's built, that's money that we can allocate towards, like, what do we need next? Next thing we need is lighting, we'll take a look at that. We need an outhouse, we'll start taking a look at the needs for the land and address it at that point. But I would almost guarantee on stuff like event days, they'd absolutely want us to have like outhouses and stuff like that, I would imagine.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot. The event days are going to, you're going to be dealing with not just the land team, but the establishment
Yep.
team.
Yeah.
And so it really depends. But again, like the sooner you get that stuff in, especially with land, because as soon as engineers and installers can start digging into the ground again, it like picks up like crazy. Yeah.
I wonder what we could do about like vending too. I mean, I wouldn't mind like, if it's prepackaged food, just make it.
Oh, I mean, on event days,
Someone,
Yeah.
someone
Food
from the
truck.
board member of the thing, go to Costco, grab a couple, blah, blah, sell it out of your truck.
We
Like,
did that.
it could be
I got my
that.
bus. So.
Yeah, exactly.
my company, we have 2 food trucks as well. So if we needed, if we wanted to end up having a food truck at an event, that's super, super easy.
But I know a lot of the
But-
food trucks in the valley would just love to be a part, like, it's free money for them, basically. They all
They
love
come
to
down,
show
they
up
make
for
a little bit of
nothing.
money, and
So I think we have good goals to work on towards our next meeting. I think everybody has me on social media. If you don't, try and add me, Brandon. You won't find Pat, Ryder, but let's make sure everybody links us to the board members.
I was gonna say, I can get
I was about
messages.
to say,
That's okay, I'm
Pat-
here.
Halfway has social media.
I filter all of the internet for him. So it's really a win-win. I'm basically, what was it, Butters? Basically Butters' department.
But I think if anybody has any thoughts or ideas or anything that they come up with before the next meeting, reach out and let's start continuing this planning process.
And use the group chat. Use the group chat that
Yeah, we can use the group chat too. I didn't even know I started the group chat until people started responding.
Now remember, this is for kids.
I was so confused. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
What is that
I
thing?
won't join a group chat, just so you know.
Yeah, that's
I get enough notifications.
I will unfriend anybody who asks me to. I'll just delete your contact information and block it.
Yeah. The first thing I do when I get added to a group is
leave the group. Now I can actually do that.
If I don't, it'll literally just sit there and go ding, ding.
Old Samsungs, you couldn't even do that. You literally had to block every person in it.
Yeah.
his family went the hard
It's in
way.
the group chat.
Still talking to you.
No.
Anything else? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller?
I think that was productive. That was good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so too.
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
I did nothing. I just.
No, well, no, I mean, the list will go out here.
Well, you and I are both familiar with the Ecto Flex, right? So XO2 fields. If we could get some, if we could even show,
You got a bunch more about the pondering guard.
if we could show the city some of the videos of what he's put together, that is a bunch of refuse that ultimately doesn't look like a refuse pile. You know, you just get a hold of all the different equipment companies around here that are moving out dirt, moving out, breaking concrete, doing any kind of renovation anywhere. Any of that slab concrete that doesn't have rebar in it. Just basically flag out a big horseshoe or even like a seat, right? And then just flag that out and just start dumping it. And then when it's all dumped, we can get a track hoe in there, move some things around, get 2 concrete trucks. That's what, $10,000 to just come in and patch everything in, make it one solid.
Don't even need that.
You can do that too, yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And then, I mean, if we're a nonprofit, we can also hit a concrete company and be like, hey, this would be a write-off for you, we'd be a sponsor for this.
Well, and you know, we hey, you've got some spare concrete, give us a bit of notice, and we can try and get half of the people together on short notice to run down and
Super easy to set plaques into instead of banners too that are going to fade.
yeah. Yeah,
I don't know what a grass or something plaque costs. But you just set that concrete on the edge of the crawler course going all the way around the center of Ashland Marketplace, and those are just there.
Investigate like a shady. But they have much keep in mind
All right, guys, thanks for showing and coming, and gals, sorry.
If we need to do any,
Prove it, prove it.
I will.
I'll believe it when I see you. I
I'm gonna make this guy go.
hope so. So he's gonna make you come next month.
if we need to do any recording,
And our
Like putting yourself in that situation. Maybe you do have it.